Hello viewers, me and team here. Welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. This is the Creek game still. And I decided to come back a little bit before finishing converting everything, just because I feel like I'm relatively stable at this point and can show off a little bit of what's going on. I'll probably pause it back and continue forward for a bit, but yeah, our old fogey ruler is still hanging around. He's 62, so that's killing us with legitimacy. And the air is not amazing, but, well, he's really not much worse. He has the same stats as the current ruler, so whatever. A lot of these provinces still have increased, or what is it, local autonomy. I think Mixed Tech does, yeah, but that's about to wear off. And in the meantime, I have just been converting provinces. There's still many to go. I actually was mistaken in the previous video when I was describing the Defender of the Faith. You can become Defender of the Faith, but the reason I couldn't was the prestige. Yeah, when you accept rebel demands and go down to negative 100 prestige, there's probably going to be someone out there who can spend 500 gold to become Defender of the Faith ahead of you. And currently that would be the Netherlands, which is kind of absurd. I could probably buy it off of them. I had it for a little while, but lost it because someone bought it off of me. But what can you do? Yes. Oh, the other thing that's pretty significant, because I've been converting so many provinces and improving relations with the Pope. Yeah, we have already begun a stranglehold on the papacy. I have two cardinals who are young, who are about to replace people in the in the Holy See already. And I have two, so I'm actually papal controller at the moment, just because I'm the only person with more than one cardinal that is active. So yeah, I'm papal controller, and I have a lot of yearly influence, and it's just going to get more so with my enormous base tax as I convert more and more provinces. Now, as for revolt risk, I do still have revolt risk. Yeah, like so. However, at this point, it is at a level where some auto-patrol rebel hunting stacks will largely take care of it. So what have I done here is I have put most of my stacks, at least somewhat mercenaries, to prevent too much manpower bleed. Some of them are all mercenaries. And that allows me to pretty much fight down the rebels indefinitely. And then I just store papal influence and jump on this. I mean, yeah, the revolts are still pretty bad, but it's a far cry from what I had to deal with previously. And it's pretty easily doable at this point to hang in there. And as soon as my ruler dies, it's going to get a lot easier. And as soon as I've taken care of that, we are going to take another crack at Westernization. So this is going to be my second Westernization attempt. And hopefully the video takes this time, rather than my last one. Because it would have been fun to watch me fail, I think. But, well, it didn't take. So, since this is going to be a lot of the same that you just watched me do just now, basically sit on my alliance with France that no one really wants to pick on me, and whack-a-mole the rebels while I accrue monarch points and prepare for Westernization yet again. I'm going to meet you guys back when we are ready to westernize. So, be right back. Alright, we are back. We are almost ready to westernize, yes. So, these missionaries are converting the last provinces. I did buy Defender of the Faith back. I have a lot of things that give prestige, so I actually would be stable at well over 50 prestige, even if I never fought a battle or had any events that add to it. So yeah, pretty solid prestige to hold on to Defender of the Faith. Locking down Curia control, absolutely. Although I did lose it briefly, but the odds of me losing it at this point are not so great. Spain's really been fighting for that one, though. And yes, my ruler died, so now I have a high legitimacy guy. And yeah, anytime that happens, you just run in here and outbid them a little bit, and you're good. I don't want to outbid them too much because I want to eventually invest in a new cardinal. And maybe I should go over my strategy for that. I'm not 100% sure if this is the best approach when it comes to Curia control. But I think the optimal situation is to have a stranglehold on 3 cardinals if you have enough papal influence. If you do, you're virtually guaranteed control of the active cardinal pool. Now, when it comes to, like, it's possible to become curia controller with just improving relations with the papal state. Actually, I can show here the things leading to it. Yeah, if you just improve relations with the papal state, you're usually going to get something in the 2.5 per area, which isn't bad. But you're really only going to be able to control one cardinal that way for the most part. Now, some of these other things help immensely. Somewhat interestingly, being curia controller is a significant factor into keeping curia controller, so that helps. Defender of the Faith is not something I would typically recommend. It calls you to a lot of wars you may or may not want to be in, but I took it for the conversion purposes, and this is a side bonus. Prestige helps a little, but not immensely. Obviously, religious unity is pretty significant, and then the larger you are, the more papal influence you get. By far, my most influencing factor is that. So, basically, as many cardinals as you can keep your control on is what you want. And I could probably bid for this one. The other thing is that you want to pick cardinals to bid on who are young, because, yeah, they die over time, and the older they are, the higher the chances of them doing so. And it's a bit obnoxious, actually. And you know what? To invest in someone and then have them die. I mean, they can die at any age. It's just more likely when they're older. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and dump enough there, so now I have stranglehold on 3 cardinals again for the moment. Well, it's not really a stranglehold. I'm being a little bit greedy with that, but my papal influence is pretty high, so not so bad. And yeah, we pretty well have colonization under control. We'll have to transition soon. Yeah, so we are almost to 100% religious unity. Quite the ride to get here. So yes, all these provinces are now all Catholic. I could convert that, but I'm not going to do it. And we also have a decent amount of income, although of course converting these, now I'm going to get inflation. Basically gold will give you inflation, and I have quite a bit of income from that. When you're a pagan, gold doesn't give you a lot of money or a lot of inflation. But now that these are converted into Christian provinces, Sunni would work too. I think Asian even gets the gold, it's just pagans that do not. Otherwise, pagan is better than Eastern religions, though, except for Shinto, but we'll get into that another time. Yeah, so once you convert, that gold is pretty significant. And I think we are close enough that we can westernize at this point. So, one more time, shall we? Click the button. And of course this will reduce stability by 3, make our advisors more costly. It's intended to be a reasonably difficult process, but we shall see about that. And since I'm over the cap in a few things, I'm just going to take attack in each of these to avoid too much spill. And then the other thing I'm going to want to do is to make our life super easy. Yeah, we have a lot of things reducing stab cost. That's so powerful. This will just boost this up a little bit. Yeah, all the way to +3, because there are events that will lower your stability. And this will keep the odds of revolt pretty low. Certainly lower than I had at the start of the previous video, where I was getting mauled by pretty much everything. Superior unit types are available. Oh, well, okay, we'll roll through with this, but that's only going to upgrade some of our guys. We're mostly relying on mercenaries here. And, yeah, ideally I would be 10-10-10, but my ruler isn't good enough for that. I can, however, afford, I can pretty comfortably afford these guys while still making money to buy out of any bad wars I get into, so... Ooh, a theologian. Lower that revolt risk. And, you know what? I'm going to make my ruler a general because, well, I want to keep my rulers relatively young so they can keep turning the heirs. What else do I have here? Native American horsemen? I mean, I guess. Oh no, I have a new siege available. What is... Oh, swivel cannon's actually really good, but I don't have any siege, so I don't have to actually worry about that conversion. And the rest I'm going to want to hold on to. I explained it in the video I lost, but the way Westernization works as of patch 1.4 and later is that you get... It costs 10 of your monarch points per month. So, and the lower your tech group, I'm in the lowest, the more points it costs. You'll see it's at 5,000. And it will drain your monarch points unless you have enough to make monarch points. Like if you have a 666 ruler and you're rolling with 3 advisors, well, okay, you can actually make monarch points during Westernization. But for most mere mortals, that's not possible. So the difference between that plus 10 and my income gets subtracted from your monarch points. And if you go down to 0 monarch points, then it gets subtracted from your progress. So let's say I had no monarch points in any category right now. I would be getting 9 here, 7 here, 7 here. So yeah, only 23 progress a month instead of 30. Still, not so bad. I will also be getting events that will force me to choose between having a setback in Westernization progress or some other negative event. Ooh, a new cardinal is mine. Yeah, it's somewhat random what cardinal gets picked. Like you get more of a chance with highly invested ones, but it's not consistently going to be the most highly invested one. But yeah, we have 4 guys in here. Okay, so here are the benefits for being Curia controller. Pretty good. Especially possible advisors, leaders without upkeep, stab cost. That's pretty solid. But each individual cardinal also gives you something. Where do I show that? I think that's under Religion tab. Let me see. I wish I could find out where that is. But yeah, basically you get like some minus tech cost and a few other things from having them as well. So that's pretty nice to have. If you are papal controller and you have a strong hold in the of the cardinals, like 5 to 7 cardinals, it's probably among the better religions in the game to be Catholic. Now, in practice, most Catholics are not going to have access to that. So, whether it's really the best religion in the game is debatable. Like, Shiite is a significant contender, as are the other Christian religions. Sunni less so because its secondary benefit isn't so great, but the piety mechanic is still good. Shinto is also reasonable. It doesn't have a lot to boost its strength, though, unfortunately. I mean, I guess you get the anti-Christian edicts, so that's something. But it's not a lot. Oh. Yeah, see, we have our first Westernization events here. You can either lose several months of progress, that's 4 months of progress at the maximum rate, or you take a negative side effect. This one's not too bad, actually. This one, you could argue, if you're making enough money, is actually helpful because you have less revolt risk, which reactionary rebels can cause some problems. And apparently if you agree to their demands, you instantly fail your Westernization progress. Just FYI. And you know what? Let's take a look at the rest of the world now that we can see it. Interestingly, Kanem Bornu has progressed a little bit. Spain just owns the South American area there. Maybe I can get a colonial nation going and feed it or something to get rid of that. Sweden is not overpowered. Absolutely not. No, not at all. Not even a little bit overpowered. Ooh, the Hansa took out Denmark. I guess it's not that implausible, but it's interesting. Commonwealth formed. That does not consistently happen. Russia's doing its usual thing. This is pretty much all you ever see out of Russia. And we have a Hindustan. I wonder which nation formed it. Usually it's Vijay, but not necessarily. And apparently these guys are becoming protectorates of Mewar. What? Yeah, so we have some Westernization going on here as well. Although, how do they... Oh, Portugal. Yeah, screw you. Screw you Iberians, and especially Great Britain. That is not appreciated. Attacking me. Oh, come on now. I don't want a gold rush. We're going to be anal retentive and lower inflation in the middle of the westernization progress. Why not? So all in all, this isn't too bad if you have religious unity. That's what really screwed me, was the combination of events tanking my legitimacy, and that'll happen again. I'll get my legitimacy tanked again. But also, when I decided to switch to Christianity, namely Catholicism, I had no religious unity at all, and that was brutal. That's pretty much what cost me the westernization attempts. Okay, you're not getting my cardinal Spain. It's not happening. Because your colonial nations do not give that any longer. So no one really has much chance of holding up against me for Curia control. Now the only problem is this set me back immensely when it comes to just being up on the tech game. Yeah, I don't mind losing a little prestige. I don't really want to lose legitimacy unless I have to. But this, yeah, I'm just behind no matter how you look at it. And it will take a little while to catch up. So we're not going to be significant probably until closer to 1750. Just because westernization has to finish and then I have to attack. Now you do get a discount based on... well, I can handle a couple noble rebels. You do get a discount based on how far behind you are within a tech group. So you can you have some wiggle room to catch up, but it's going to take time regardless. And yeah, I'll just colonize there because it'll look a little prettier. We're almost done with the colonization. Do I actually have multiple colonists? No, I have expansion ideas. Okay, and that's important to note. I'm not sure if I did so in an earlier video or not, but if you're joining me later for some reason in the series, or you just missed it earlier, the combination of... Get out of here with this. The combination of diplomatic and expansion ideas will max out your possible diplomatic reputation at +8 from ideas. You can then get more from, say, a statesman, which I don't have, although I could hire one. And national ideas, although I don't think the Creek have it. Let's look. They have build cost, stability cost, production efficiency, yearly prestige, manpower. Oh, they do have diplorep. So yeah, they can get a little bit more diplomatic reputation than the standard civ on top of that. Not bad at all. Yeah, I decided to do some cultural cleansing just because. Not optimal at all. I would recommend against doing that outside of very special circumstances, like Sub-Saharan Africa. If you start as Mali, so little isn't Mali that you might as well just convert it and then make everything Mali. I didn't do that with my short Benin playthrough because Benin is not Mali culture. I guess I could have culture shifted. It would have been a pain. And certainly if you get like some of those really rare cultures, it can be worth it to just annihilate them if they don't have a lot of base tax and get a little extra that way. Apparently Britain was... Wait. Okay, that's just culture conversion. Yeah. Well, I might as well just get money right now. Man, lots of events that let me raise taxes higher on my people. This I like. Oh my gosh. Yeah, losing that much army in the tradition hurts, but whatever. We're not going to slow down our progress. And stop it, Spain. Stop. Such a pain. Like, there's no way they can win that. They need to not bid against me. They're just annoying me rather than doing anything threatening. Oh, Blackfoot westernized, by the way. Whoa. Okay, fine. I'll lose some army tradition as well. Yeah, that hurts, but it's going to be a while before we can fight anyway, so it's not like my army tradition or navy tradition is in any condition for me to be fighting with that. Oh my gosh, I'm 0. Well, I can certainly tank any further. I should probably build the navy. Oh my gosh, why haven't I? Oh, because I've had the Western Europeans coming around and spanking me, so my navy's been a little bit difficult to maintain. Still, I could have done... Well, let's build Mill Canal. Yeah, so consider that a misplay. I should have had a navy, especially a trade fleet or something. But I think at this point, since I am just going to gear up and invade Europe, I'll probably not build too many trade ships. I'll probably mostly build heavies and crap to just let me annihilate anyone who wants to fight me. Because if you get enough heavy ships, they're not going to be able to do anything to you over here. In fact, I'm very much looking forward to the opportunity to stick it to Britain after they're harassing me earlier on. And who are they allied to? Peasants will resist westernization. Yeah, well, get out of here. Yeah, they're basically... Oh, well, no, they're allied to Russia. But does Russia actually have a navy? That's always worth checking out. So they go into military navies. I mean, Great Britain's going to have a navy. Yeah, they have 48 heavy ships. They'll have naval ideas. And that's a lot of light ships. Light ships aren't the best at combat. When you have hundreds, they can make a difference. And then you have Russia, which has junk for navy. So yeah, Russia would not be able to actually project much power onto me. Whereas Great Britain could do that. Oh, would you stop? There we go. Yeah. How am I getting a second colonist? Oh, I don't. I don't have a second colonist. I'm just kind of going over my limit. You never have too much manpower. It's always useful. None of this stuff matters over much, but I don't want to fall too far behind on it. What is my income? And I could push this up a little bit more. I think I'd rather eventually hire somebody who's +3 in Diplo, though. Do I want to do that now? Man, it's expensive while you're westernizing. Yeah, you get increased cost while westernizing. I don't want to lose money. You never know when you might need it. Still improving relations with the Pope and with France, absolutely. Oh, and that's the other thing. I could probably pull France in on Great Britain, which would pretty much ruin any hope of Great Britain defending their colonies, which is what I'm looking for. And it's the same thing against Brazil. Oh, come on, man. Really? Okay, well, let's see here. Who's relatively young? This is a perfect target. When you see someone like this, it's just awesome. Not only doesn't he not have a lot of people investing in him right now, but he's a young cardinal. This guy's old and he's not in the Curia yet. So we're just going to not spend all our points. I want to hold a little in reserve in case get a few years out of the 70-year-old if he makes it. But that'll be pretty helpful. Have someone that, even if it takes him 10 years to get in, it's a pretty good run in the act as an actual cardinal. Yeah. Spain's just going to want to pound me, I guess. They're probably not too happy with me, to be honest. Let's look. Yeah, they have me rivaled. I'm sure Portugal has me rivaled. Yep. Great Britain doesn't, but they don't like me. Yeah, Diplo reputation's pretty important. Like, look at this. I'm getting +40 from just the... What do I have? 6 + 5. Yeah, I have 11 diplomatic reputation. And that's not offsetting distance entirely, but it's a significant contributing factor. And along with improved relations, it does let you make something happen. The reason I was able to ally France is that I converted to Christianity. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do that as a native, unless you get holdings in Africa, like here or something. If you want to rush conquer Mali, you can do it. But rush conquering Mali is like Aztec or Zapotec or a native tribe. It's doable, but it's not pleasant. You will run afoul of the Europeans sooner, but you can also westernize a little bit sooner as long as you can get quests for the New World. I'd rather just suck up the revolt risk. My revolt risk is going to be pretty low for the most part, though. Yeah, I mean, you got Western influences, but I have 6 intolerance. It's just nasty amount of revolt risk reduction. Really nice to have. And then, of course, we're going to get these events spammed on us until Westernization completes. So Spain's just going to keep being a thorn in my side. But because I have basically no revolt risk otherwise... Oh. That's alright, I'll just take it later. Like, I'm only going to get revolts from events, which is nothing. Probably not the best time for that. Oh, see, France invested 60 in a cardinal and got in. And what can you do? Sometimes you just don't have the luck on your side. And the more influence you have, the less luck-based it is, just because you can overwhelm everything. And your chances of not being Curia controller just plummet. Ooh, I lost another advisor. That's nice. Oh, it's the, Oh, but yeah, I concluded that I couldn't afford it, right. So we're just going to hire another +2. Morale navies is fine. Yeah. This is going to slow down Westernization slightly. Not too much, though. But we're almost halfway there. So I'll be Westernized by 712. I'm tempted to just let Spain have this guy since he's so old. I might just do that. Because it's getting obnoxious at this point. Westernization, lose 120. Or we can just beat down some rebels. With full religious unity, it's not that bad. And honestly, it was a joke in my first attempt, too, until I switched religions. The only thing that made it even a little bit challenging was England declaring war on me. Yeah, you can have him, Spain. You can have the 70-year-old cardinal. I'm not going to bid war you for that. I'll probably gun for the one that Austria is on momentarily here. Yeah, you just he would be the oldest cardinal in the Curia. What the heck? Yeah, let's just throw some bids on the one that Austria is controlling. There we go. Not the most exciting process, but it's there. Yeah, there's a lot of complaints on the forum about the tedious nature of the Curia, and I'm inclined to agree. It's not the most engaging process. Like, the bidding does not require deep thought at all. So you wind up with a situation where it is kind of dull. I'm not gonna lie. Now I could run over here and start causing grief. Oh man. Yeah, like I said, there are some stab hit events in there. And my ability to boost stab is being crushed a little bit. And yeah, now I can just hold some in reserve and I'll have two guys competing for the Curia. Oh, or I could just do that. I have plenty of Diplo relations right now. Like more than I can actually get with people, so we'll just boost these up a little bit, make them a bit more secure, and get ready to jump a third guy if possible. Yeah, my one guy's getting up there in years. So I'm going to want to luck my way into another cardinal in the Curia. We're over halfway done, viewers, towards Westernization. Of course, I'm going to run out of admin points soon, and that will drag me down to 27 per month progress instead of the full 30. So that's going to hurt. Ooh, I should definitely make my ruler a general again. That does increase the odds that they die, by the way. It, basically the way it works is that it will check the chance of a general dying, as well as the chance of a ruler dying, whereas otherwise it would only check one of those things. So you actually do have some odds manipulation in terms of ruler death, but it's so minimal because even if you... Yeah, 30 legitimacy hit. Yeah, look at that revolt risk pop up. But yeah, even if you make someone a general, there's no guarantee that they'll actually die. So, in fact, the odds are still reasonably low. You can have somebody like Henry Lancaster at the start of the game for Britain live into his 70s as a general. And he's probably not even going to be a good general, knowing the luck that players often get in terms of that. Henry the Immortal, as he's called. Okay. Still plenty of papal influence to spare here. And we are just going to watch the time tick away. I actually could just declare on Navajo and take their stuff. Oh, but I wouldn't be able to core it, so that wouldn't be a good idea. And I could, if I hadn't westernized already, I could vassal them. That would work. But it's kind of a pain to vassal OPMs, especially late game. It's much better to just core that stuff, even though it takes an eternity, and leave the vassaling to things you can feed. Yeah, I'm going to play at a very different game that's going to have a lot more early action for my next playthrough. So we're going to see a very different playthrough than what we had here, where I basically just cheesed my way the whole time. The nation of Connaught, your faithful ally, is requesting that you come to their aid in the Second British Conquest of Ulster against Great Britain. In the middle of a westernization process? Well, perhaps I shouldn't do this, but I will almost certainly take War Leader. And if I take War Leader, I can probably call France. And if I can call France, and I'll still be War Leader. Most likely. And as a result of that, this gives me a legitimate chance to, say, snipe some of Newfoundland for myself. Oh, but the problem with doing that is I don't have the admin points. No. Why? Why, game? Why time this now? I think I'll just ignore it. I would like to make this more interesting, but I don't want to have more westernization fail problems, so we're just going to have to go with that. There we go. I just whack them all these rebels all the time. Sure, I guess. They're actually pretty stout. Ooh. I can offer them vassalization, huh? Okay. Yeah, they westernized, so why not? And they are allied with Spain, so it would be a little annoying to take them out. But once they're my vassal, that's not going to be the case any longer. This is just going to be... I mean, it's not as hard to take as it looks because colonies are not worth very much to the computer. So that's something to keep in mind, but it's just going to be a lot of stuff to deal with. Alright. Alright, Austria. Enough of that. And I don't see anyone I really want to snipe at other than these two for the moment, so I'm just going to keep bidding on them until I can try and work in a third. Preferably someone else in their 40s as well. Yeah, we're almost out of admin power. If it weren't for that, I would have happily gone to war. Kill the natives! Oh. I lost my core. I'm probably not going to lose my core here, as I will be retaking my land, thank you very much. Yeah, and even taking stuff like that would probably cost me Diplo. Yay, lower taxes, yay. Oh well. Yeah, Austria is not exactly an easy opponent in the papacy, as you can see. They are not as obnoxious as France, perhaps, for papal controller, but they can still be a problem. And they might well bid me into the 200 range. Unfortunately, now we are going to be progressing more slowly. Yep, 27 a month. Trying to get to 5,000. But we will make it this time, because we will not flatline our unity. And then it will be time to gouge our tech up a little bit. Now, what idea should I take next? I'm probably only going to get one or two more relevant ideas before the end of the game. I do have defensive. I have diplomatic and expansion. Religious is really good. I'm glad I took it. I needed it considering what I did. Naval's worth considering. There's pretty much nobody left that I would fight where naval would not be a significant influencing factor in my victory. The problem is I'm already backwards in naval tech and don't have a lot of ability to influence that. I could take a military idea, but well, I'll probably want to take. I probably want to get two more meaningful ideas, which means the first other one I take will have to be something other than administrative. Plus, I don't really need administrative particularly. So, I'm thinking maybe naval, but then still teching up in naval until I'm pushing ahead of years, and then just taking these as I go. Because if you have naval ideas, you can get really a crushing advantage at sea. Screw you, nobles. And then my other one, probably just offensive, because you get forced march. And that lets you chase a shattered retreat stack and kill it. I don't know, I might change my mind there. That one's pretty solid. It just looks weird to see Morocco bidding on cardinals. I mean, I guess I've seen Stranger Things, but that's a little unusual for the AI to be pulling. Wow, Portugal is bidding on this guy too. Oh my gosh. That's obnoxious. Oh, how much can I store? I can store up to 177. Okay, I'm nowhere near. I don't want to, like, waste points. I might as well put them somewhere. Yay, a new cardinal. Loyalty Creek. And the new guy is pretty young, so we'll just invest in him right away. Oh, but he's replacing one of my dudes, unfortunately. I would have preferred it if he were replacing somebody else's. Oh good, I got a colony self-sustaining. Yeah, we're pretty much done with the colonial game. There's not going to be a whole lot left to colonize. Well, what can you do? It's a temporary thing, then the land runs out, and you have to fight for land at that point. There's probably still... yeah, the AI really doesn't like tropical stuff, so it avoids tropical... Man, you can save Madagascar for late. Even Africa is pretty well untouched. Do I have the colonial range for this? I almost do, which means pretty much every colonial power does. Easily. They just don't want Africa. They're so... aw, man. Fine. Yeah, this is why I had low legitimacy before, by the way. Because Westernization tends to tank it. No doubt about that. My progress is about to slow down further. Yay, more papal influence. But that's not going to matter too much, because we're almost done here. Almost done. And then it will be time to play some tech catch up. That's one way to get your legitimacy higher. And, ooh, I have a good ruler and heir. Yeah. See, I've actually gained an administrative point. 1197, so it'll speed us up. 533 is really good too. Man, I'm just getting heir after heir. It's a little surprising considering the scarce number of royal marriages I have. Oh, I'll just acknowledge it for the prestige hit. I'm still making plenty of prestige. And it looks like I can, I could even take a military tech and not run out. But I don't have much incentive to do that. Yeah, I'll be getting full neighbor bonus. Alright. Colony's self-sustaining, even though I never left a colonist here. You can get away with that. Merchants resist westernization. Oh no, my Diplo power. Now this is strange. When you go to negative Diplo power, it recovers, but it doesn't slow your westernization progress while it recovers, as we shall observe here. On rollover. Yeah, so we're not really losing too much on that. Should be getting around 29. Oh no, we are. Okay, so it's an interface bug. That's nice. Gotta love those. The game is chock full of them too. Would you like to be my vassal? Congratulations, you are helping me expand without me contributing any effort whatsoever. Just the way I like it. Okay, so I'm not particularly eager to get into a bidding war against France. Perhaps I will just invest a little bit into these guys and wait. Wait for another younger cardinal to come along, even though the one that France is bidding on is pretty young. France is a pain, so we'll not engage that unless we must. Yay, you got your 80-year-old cardinal in there. That's pretty impressive, actually. But that's not really the best play. I'm glad I stopped investing on that guy when I did, because that would have been obnoxious. Oh, baby. Alright, viewers, we are completed in westernization now. So now it's permanent. I am Western forever. And there's not much point in delaying this. Actually, I'm not too far behind in military. I'm only 3 techs behind there. Now, the others are going to take a bit more doing. So, I think my next idea will actually be a military one, to let my naval tech recover. And then I'll take naval ideas as one of mine. So it's really just going to be a question of what military idea to take. Quantity sucks, so it's hard to think of a situation where you would ever consider taking it. Aristocratic, similarly, if you're not playing as a horde where you stay a nomad like all game long, then there's only one other situation I can think of where aristocratic is worth your time, and that's if you are playing for world conquest and trying to cycle vassals. Because after the very early game, you really don't need that much military strength. You've already started snowballing. Like, say you're England and you win the 100 Years' War. So you have France, and you integrate France and you blast Iberia while becoming the Holy Roman Emperor. Okay, so at this point, do you really need much better military? I mean, really? No. Ottomans are going to stay in the Ottoman tech group all game, and if you have, you can do any number of things to prevent Russia from forming, or just get a PU with them if you're super lucky. But even if you don't, you can just colony snipe them and they'll never go east, or it'll take them forever to go east. And that'll give you plenty of time to deal with them. So in that case, you wouldn't take aristocratic first because you would take something that actually helps you conquer Europe, but as a second military idea, just for the extra diplomat to deal with churning vassals, I could see it. I could see it in that case, because you just don't need the help in military otherwise. You've already beaten the people who matter the most right at the start of the game. So maybe there, And maybe if you're staying nomad the entire game for fun, you can take aristocratic ideas, but otherwise it's kind of substandard. So it really comes down to offensive, defensive, and quality, all of which have good stuff. My only problem with quality is that while its benefits are certainly good, especially the discipline finisher, holy cow, you still get 10% discipline in offensive, and the ability to have forced march is just so good. It's so good. So, alright. I think this is a pretty good stopping point. We're going to be doing a lot of just building structures at this point, mostly manufactories to get my gold even more ridiculous. And of course the special buildings. So yeah, I'll build out some unique buildings as they come available. Ooh, an arsenal, huh? What? They built all of that? My gosh. Well, yeah, I'll build out some buildings, like the special buildings and manufactories to get more money. Otherwise, I will be teching up until I feel ready to engage and take revenge upon our former hostile invaders. Until then, viewers, I hope you're enjoying the Let's Play. The Me and Team, signing off.